Hello everyone, Scotty here from a Blue Coconut family, and welcome back to another City Skylines tutorial. Today I'm going to be going slightly off of a vanilla game and more into assets and workshop items you can get from Steam. So what do I mean by this? These are certain items and or modifications you can add onto your game that might help your game but are not created by the developers of City Skylines. These are created by the community, and so potentially could be buggy, but often or not are very useful for you to have in your game. So what I'm going to be looking at today is the multiple platforms for metro stations. Now this is very useful because what it does is it allows you to have multiple platforms and multiple stations within one space in your city, allowing you to have multiple lines going through that station, but without the population of the Sims from going above ground and potentially causing traffic between your stations, so you stay neatly underground in one station. There's a couple of things you need for this mod to work well, because even though multiple platforms is supported natively within game, it can sometimes be buggy. This has been fixed up slightly since the release of mass transit, because the game itself has introduced the ability to have multiple platforms on its train lines, and that has been kind of bridged over into metro stations, but is sometimes still can be quite buggy. So the two mods that I suggest for you to have a look at, and I'll be linking these in the description below, is the fixed spawn point mods mod. This allows you to, or it helps the placement of the little kind of station blobs within the multiple platforms, and the other one is called Advanced Stop Selection. This allows you to hold down shift when you're placing your line, so you can specify what station it is stopping at. I'll show you what I mean by that and how that can be very useful. There are of course many assets, so there are modifications you'll need, but there's many assets that enable this. Now I use the London Underground assets just because I find them look awesome, so I can find them here under the Metro section. And I've got these. So these are the base ones. These are ones which just literally have the roundel and the stairs, but I do also have them in the modern brick and then the old style brick. So I have got them quite different things. Now there are multiple kind of situations with this. This is the classic one, so this is literally just a single station. And then these little symbols underneath represent what the stations look like. Obviously it's not a rounded 6, it just has 6 platforms. So you've got 2 parallel. You also have parallel in the opposite direction, so you've got lateral and then you've got horizontal. And then you've got a plus format, and then a 6, which is a plus format but is kind of like a hash sort of thing, but missing the second one sort of thing. Looks like that. Now one thing to note is this 6 is on multiple levels, so you've actually got a really deep platform down at the bottom there. And that's definitely worth noting for when you're doing these sort of things, especially also for the plus. You've got one platform which is deeper than the others, so if you place it close by to a second platform that is at a higher level, you can sometimes get that slope too steep error sort of thing. So let me show you how you put these into game. So if I open up the Metro tab again, now you can see I've got my multiple Metro lines here going on underground, which is very nice, but if people want to get from this station to this station, at the moment they have to physically, and you probably can see them. You can see them, they are actually crossing the road and thus holding up the traffic if they want to get between any of those 4 lines. Whereas if I had them all onto a single one, then it would make the life a little bit easier. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So first of all, you get these out and you start looking which ones might make sense. So I'm actually going to go for this parallel one here, because quite often or not, one of these will actually fit your current situation if you're needing to change it slightly. So what I mean by that is you would prepare the land and you delete the current station. Don't worry, it will have this I'm not connected route thing, but that's okay. You then place your station exactly to where your old one was, similar to how I've done here, and you can see that automatically snaps in, and because there was a station there before, you can see that it auto connects up with that old line. Now it might take a little while for these blobs to go away, purely to the fact that it will take a while for the game to realise that you've placed a station there and that your line is now complete. And what to do for the other one. Now this station is now obsolete, so we can actually get rid of this station. Remember, it might be worth you, where is it? There you go. Removing your lines first, just like so. Just otherwise it can get quite tricky later on if the game can't quite reach your station and you can't then place your line. So now I've connected up that second one, but of course we actually deleted the route. So I'm just going to then continue to grab it. So you do it as like normal, just grab the line you want and just click and hold it over to the new place. Now, like I said, it will take a little while for this one to register, but there you go, it's just registered that actually this is a continuation of the stop. And what will happen now is these lines are now actually connected as one with this one station, and any people coming along one of these lines will automatically move across to the second line, potentially in the other station, and without any hassle at all, without coming above ground. So we can actually see some of these are coming above ground. Actually, some of these now actually moving over to this dark blue line. So they didn't come above ground, they stayed purely underground, meaning that your streets are less populated with people walking between stations. It stays purely underground. Now I'm going to show you one more example where this is very useful, and it's that I'm going to create another branch up here, but I'm going to have it cross-section my old lines, so that it allows that people can get between different lines without having to go above ground. Now, quite useful. This new station that we got here has a metro station built in, but because I haven't got a line up here, we haven't been able to use it. So in order to use this, I'm going to place some platforms down just around here, just so that we can eventually find somewhere where this could be useful. Now, when you're placing your metro stations, always try to have in your mind where roughly you want your line to go, so that it makes sense to you. It's pointless having a line layout that makes absolutely no sense, and you find you really struggle to put lines into place. So I'm actually going to have the line come through. I'm going to have it come through this one. I think. Actually, no. I'm going to have it come through here. So what you would do, I'm going to delete this station here. Remember, it's not a problem that it's now saying that there's a problem there, and I'm going to place the cross-section one. We can see that automatically slots in without having any issue. Then I'm going to come across, and I'm actually going to then place another one here. So then it actually intersects two of my main platforms. Then once again, going to come through this one. So it would be actually quicker and more efficient for some of your people to get off at this station and come here if they're wanting to travel on any of these lines. Now, sometimes this happens where I say it automatically pops in. If one of the lines is at an angle or it just doesn't quite fit, it will throw up an error and say, I can't fit there, the space is being used. That's not an issue. All you have to do is place your station roughly nearby. So I'm going to have to use this piece of track as well. As long as your station is roughly in there and you can see that your blobs match up, you're good to go. And make sure you just afterwards you join the tunnel back up, and you won't have any issues at all. So the last one I'm actually going to do, I'm going to have this line actually finish on this one here. This one here. No, I'm going to have it stop here, I'm afraid. Something changing, but that's the kind of speed of the system that I want to run. So we're going to connect up these lines here, from here to here, from that one to that one, from this one to that one. Now you can already see we have crossed multiple lines here with no issue at all. We're not having to join the tunnels, and the trains are not being stopped by any other locomotive or line that is on the network. Very useful indeed. Now we're just going to finish off connecting up this little branch line of the metro service, just like so. Yep. There we go, that's our line. And then just remember to place your line. Now this is where we're placing a new line, so I'll show you exactly how you can go through those secondary platforms. So here you might get the issue where sometimes it jumps to this line and it's saying there's no route there because of course the tunnels are not connected. But this time it's been okay and it says I want to go there. This one it is fine. But if you do have an issue, so for example on here, let's say it was jumping up here. If you've got the advanced stop selection mod on, all you have to do is hold down shift and you can actually see that you can actually jump between what platforms you want it to do. But at the moment there's no issue there. and all that mod is in place for is if you ever come across an issue. And of course on the route back we just do the exact same thing, clicking in the other direction, just making a single route line, just clicking through all of these now, and we're connected. Now that metro line is now fully in place, and that means that this section of my city up here has now got a fully working metro system going through it, which allows them also to interconnect with the main line metro system down here. And it also means that your city can be even more connected, allowing for more of your Sims or your population to travel on your metro system without them having to go above ground, causing traffic. You can actually have a high density city but with minimum amount of traffic using this sort of system and these assets. I'd love to see how you guys do this. So if you guys incorporate this sort of system in your cities, pop onto our Facebook page, Blue Coconut Family, and post us a photo. I'd love to see how you introduce these sort of systems and multiple lines and multiple platform assets into your cities. It's really good, and I think you guys will love it. So yeah, if that's been useful guys, hit that like button, also subscribe and you can see the rest of the content on my channel. Also worth noting is we do live streams on our Twitch channel, _Blue_Coconut_Family. Go over there, give us a follow and you'll know when we go live. So yeah, I've been Skottyy from Blue Coconut Family. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you on the next video. So long.